Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, students, parents, families, friends, colleagues. It's great to see you all here this evening, and so many of you were able to come out, and especially on a school night. So we're really pleased that you took the time and effort to come. My name is Professor Janet Greeley, and I'm the Executive Dean of the Faculty of Human Sciences here at Macquarie University, and it's my great pleasure to welcome you all here this evening on behalf of the faculty and the university. I'd like to begin proceedings by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Darug people, and to pay my respects to their elders past and present, and to extend that to any Indigenous guests who may be here with us this evening. It's really wonderful to see you all here for our information evening about our health professions. Macquarie University over the last 5 to 6 years has made significant investments in health, and I'd like to tell you a little bit about that and explain a little bit about who's in the Faculty of Human Sciences. So the Faculty of Human Sciences is quite a broad collection of disciplines. The Australian School of Advanced Medicine is part of the faculty. Now, we don't have a GP training program. We have a program that trains specialists mainly in surgery and high-level medicine. The Department of Health Professions is a new department, just started about 3 years ago, and it houses physiotherapy and our public health program, which you'll hear a little bit about this evening. Psychology is also part of human sciences. We're not going to be talking about psychology this evening, but we may have another event later on to talk about psychology. You may have noticed some signs on the wall for the Center for Cognitive Science and its disorders. That's part of the Department of Cognitive Science. Macquarie is very well known for cognitive science throughout Australia, and we are the recipients of a large national grant that funds the Centre of Excellence. The Department of Linguistics is also in the Faculty of Human Sciences, and it is home to audiology and speech pathology. And our speech pathology program is a little different because of that, and it gives us a special edge. The Institute of Early Childhood and the School of Education are also in human sciences. So a lot of the work that we do is to train people in areas working with people. And most of the degrees that we offer in human sciences are professionally accredited or lead to further study in professionally accredited programs. The Faculty of Human Sciences, as you can see, is quite broad, and we try to consider our programs in these 4 broad areas of health, education, language, and the mind. But as you can see, these bubbles are overlapping. There's a lot of links between each of those different areas of study. So when we're talking about speech pathology, for example, it is obviously an area in allied health, but it's very much linked to studies of language and linguistics. Education links very much with linguistics, and education is very important in the development of good health behaviours. So you can see there's a lot of overlap. Even though we have a very diverse group of disciplines, the faculty is a very exciting place to work, and I'm very pleased to be Dean of it. Now, the health programs that we offer, as I mentioned, are advanced medicine, advanced surgery, audiology, clinical neuropsychology, clinical psychology, physiotherapy, and speech pathology. This evening, we're going to be focusing on the undergraduate programs that lead to further study in audiology, physiotherapy, and speech pathology. Although these degrees also can lead to direct employment if you don't decide to pursue further study. We also have with us this evening people who are leaders in those programs, the postgraduate programs, so you can have conversations with them later as well. As I mentioned at the beginning, Macquarie University has made significant investment in health and education over the last 5 to 6 years. The development of our own private university hospital and clinics, which provide health services to people in the region. You may have, if you were able to attend some of the tours this evening, you would have seen the very high standard, state-of-the-art clinics we have in audiology and speech pathology. We also have clinics in psychology and emotional health, which are on this floor, which you may not have seen this evening. The Australian School of Advanced Medicine is quite unique. It focuses on, as I said, the training of high-level specialists in medicine and surgery. And then, of course, the building you're in this evening, the Australian Hearing Hub, which is, again, a unique enterprise which exemplifies Macquarie's engagement with industry and the community. So within the Hearing Hub, we have partners who are our research and service delivery partners, such as Cochlear, and you may have noticed Cochlear's main international headquarters is in another building just across the street. But Cochlear will also have a presence in this building. In addition, Australia's statutory body who provides hearing services, Australian Hearing, is on the 5th floor. And their research facility, the National Acoustics Laboratory, and many of you may have gone to see the unique place that is the anechoic chamber. That's part of the research facility that we share with the National Acoustic Laboratory. We also have partnerships with the Royal Institute for Deaf and Blind Children, Sydney Cochlear Implant Centre, and the Shepherd Centre. And you may have noticed all of those having outlets here on the ground floor, and they provide services to clients with hearing problems. We also have, as I said, a hearing and speech clinic and a psychology clinic in this facility. And down at the hospital, we have medical clinics. You may have also noticed as you came in our state-of-the-art library. I guess it's been open now for about 3 years, and it's the first of its kind in Australia. You don't see a lot of books in our library. It's deliberately set out as a study space for students, and most of the books are actually stored in a repository and retrieved by a robotic system. It's quite an interesting thing to go and watch. But we've had so much demand for space for students to study, and most students now are studying, as you would know, on their laptops and iPads, and most of our journals and lots of our books are accessed electronically these days. So our university is set up specifically to promote that. But we've also developed some new learning spaces in our old library, and if any of you are alumni of Macquarie, you might well remember studying for your exams in our old library. Well, now if you were to go there, you would see an amazing set of learning spaces for students, set up in 3 very distinct styles. We're actually doing a bit of an experiment in there to see what kind of learning space students really like. As it turns out, different students like different kinds of spaces, as you might expect. But the study's not finished yet, and we'll be interested to see what the final outcome is. But it will help guide us in other kinds of study spaces that we'll develop into the future. Now, this evening, we're going to be talking to you about a couple of particular undergraduate programs that lead to, as I mentioned, a range of other options. It can be a generalist career in health, or it might be postgraduate study at master or doctoral level to become a professional, a registered professional in one of the areas that I mentioned, speech pathology, audiology, or physiotherapy. Or, alternatively, you might become infected by the research bug and decide to pursue a pathway into research. All of those options are possible as outcomes of participation in the degrees we're going to discuss with you this evening. And we have some experts who teach in those degrees and are people who are involved in working in areas related to those degrees, and they're going to be telling you about that this evening. Without further ado, because I could go on and talk about health at Macquarie forever, but there are people here with much more detail for you about the degrees that we're presenting this evening, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to them. Now, our first speakers this evening will be Yetta Bolerup, who's a lecturer in the Department of Health Professions and is the convener of the Bachelor of Human Sciences, and Jane Elkington, who is a health industry representative and also teaches into the program. Later, you'll be spoken to by Dr. Michael Proctor, who's a lecturer in the Department of Linguistics and is involved in convening the program Bachelor of Speech and Hearing and Language Sciences. But first, I'll be calling on Yetta and Jane to talk to you about the Bachelor of Human Sciences. Thanks.